I would say that probably the word or the phrase that I would use was no purpose. It was a typical teenager who basically, I was trying to just kind of doing my own thing. I was passionate about very few things. I was passionate about golf, and I was passionate about having fun, and I was passionate about girls. I'm not sure what in what order, but Jesus was not on the list. I've loved music all of my life, and so we actually promoted bands. We had bands that we would bring in for dances and things like that, and we did pretty well. And this friend of mine, he and I got into a disagreement over how to divide the money. And it got pretty heated. And when I turned around, I was faced with a knuckle with a ring that had a raised B on it, and he slit my nose from top to bottom. He then took me to the doctor's office, and I walked in there, and there was a young man. He was the high school director for Campus Crusade for Christ. He said, well, hey, you know what, we got this thing called a student life meeting. And I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool. I can go hang out. So sure enough, the next meeting, he shared the gospel that night. And it was like a lightning bolt hit me, and everything that I was living for just seemed unimportant. Well, the goodness of God, I can see the fact He gave me a wife that puts up with me. I mean, she deserves an award, okay? I will tell you that. And giving me a wife that was a godly mother. And the goodness of God was the fact that God blessed me with 3 wonderful kids. Many of you know Stephanie. And then we have Melanie, my middle daughter, and then Gregory. Being a father has been one of the greatest joys of my life. It has also been, at times, one of the most painful experiences of my life. But at the end of the day, it has been probably the most rewarding experience of my life. I will tell you right now, the worst things that I did, particularly in the 90s, was getting so wrapped up in my career that I started spending less time during the ages where I thought, where I know now looking back, were critical ages where I should have been there more. And I tell young business folks, young professional folks, your kids will not care what you do. They want you in their life. And the greatest regret I think that you can have at the end of your life is looking back and realizing, I wish I'd spent more time investing in my children. You know, Paul tells us to fix your eyes not on things that are seen, but the things that are unseen. Because the things that are seen, your partnership, whatever car you drive, whatever bank account you have, whatever size house you have, whatever status you may have, whatever country club you belong to, whatever. Those things are temporal. But the things that are unseen are eternal. I'm very proud of my kids, all of them. I'm proud that they love Jesus. I'm proud that they want to serve God. And they've grown up to love God and love Jesus. And to me, that's the greatest reward. I can't think of a more joyful life than walking through life with Jesus. Because He is there. He's the only game in town. I mean, He is life to me.